Hey, what's up, guys? Another review for you. This one's going to be big, so bear with me here. When it comes to horror, I'm pretty open minded because horror never comes by itself. It's always horror thriller, horror drama, action horror, like Underworld. Um, but I'll take my horror, whatever. I understand the difficulty of making a movie, so I'll watch, I'll sit down. If I enjoy it, enjoy. If I don't, I don't. Whatever. Um, but yeah, come across a few movies in your life and you're like, damn, this was a great movie. Why isn't no one talking about it? It's frustrating sometimes. Um, because like I said, when it comes to me, it could be a movie like Chud, underground humanoids, in the sewer killing people, or a movie that could be like completely independent, like Mother, or Hereditary, or Midsummer, stuff like that. Monster movies, ghosts. I think I kind of covered them all really in my recent reviews. Monsters, ghosts, demons, slasher films, serial killers, whatever. I like it all, so I'm getting to it. But like I said, there's a few movies that I think people should maybe give a second viewing. Um, One actually, it was just brought to my attention, actually called Eli, which was on Netflix film about some young boy receiving a treatment for like an autoimmune disease, and the place he's staying is like really weird. It's like not normal, and there's something bigger, and there's a huge twist involved, and I think it's awesome. And it's not the movie I'm going to be talking about today because that's another one, but definitely I think that deserves a review on its own. I think I'll bring that up at some point. But like I said, you got a lot of hidden because it's flooded, especially the streaming sites. Not just regular movies. You could, you know, well, you can't really rent them really. Like actually go to the movies and see or stream. But so many streaming sites, it gets flooded. You start asking your coworkers, your friends, what should I watch? Because you spend a good amount of time looking for films. So this is why you look at videos like this, or recommendations or reviews, because you want to see, oh, maybe if they like it, maybe I'll like it. So there's one I'm going to bring up your attention right now. It was a 2019 film, not too long ago. Another Netflix film, actually got released I think in October too, called Fractured. My screen is so bright. Look at this. I'm like pale now, like a ghost. It's a psychological thriller. Not quite horror, but definitely falls into it. So the director of this, I want to make this a point. Brad Anderson. Not too many people know him, but made some familiar movies. Session 9. It's a USA film, if any of you remember the USA channel, whatever that was. I think someone bought it out now. But it was a great psychological horror. A bunch of workers working like at an abandoned asylum, and they all start going crazy. What I like about Brad Anderson as a director, he knows just how to mess with the mind. He's really good at it. Stonehurst Asylum with Kate Beckinsale, another great film. Um, I'll leave links of his work so you guys can check it out. The Machinist with Christian Bale. I think it was the movie Christian Bale did before he did Batman, the Batman trilogy, and now The Machinist is Christian Bale. He had to like lose a lot of weight for this role. He's like a stick. You got to see him. Just type in The Machinist Christian Bale. I think he's like 80 pounds, and he had to gain it all the way back and do some vigorous training to be Batman. So like, I think the doctor said, don't do this again, man. You'll die. That movie is also one that kind of like sticks with you too. It's really has a lot of twists and turns. The character's not even sure of himself. Was he responsible for this? Did he kill someone? One of those kind of movies. Like I said, I'll leave links to all these movies I'm talking about. But I don't want to give them too much attention, take away from what I'm going to talk about today. A movie called Fractured. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. Netflix is pretty good at advertising what they're about to release, like The Witcher or something, some series or whatever. But it was talked about, and then that was it. People kind of like, I guess they didn't like it. Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't even know what the rating is. People still rate movies anymore? I don't know. Rotten Tomatoes? I don't look at that stuff. I'm my own judge. Anyway, it's a Brad Anderson film, and it's about this family they're off like some like back road or whatever, and the family is kind of like not so functional. I don't want to say dysfunctional. They're not psychopaths, whatever. So it's a dad, mom, and this guy's daughter, in the back seat. So anyway, they're arguing. They stop, whatever, to I guess try and figure out where they're going. Daughter wanders off, falls down to some construction site, some like it's like a cement, pavement area, whatever. Anyway, hurts her arm really bad. Dad's like, oh my god, they think they passed the hospital. Turns out there is a hospital. They drive back. They drive back to go to the hospital, check out the girl's arms fractured or whatever, and that's it. So he's waiting. So the mom goes back with the daughter. Dad waits in the waiting room, sleeps, wakes up hours later, and they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "What are you talking about? I came here with my family. Where's my family?" So they have like no recollection. The sign-in sheet, like when you go to a hospital, you have to sign your name. It's not there, and he's like flipping out. He's like, "Pull the tapes. Let me see the recordings." He's like really upset, and they're like, "Hey, listen, man, we're gonna call the cops on you." They do, and somehow he like conjures up this idea, which up until this point we're thinking like, "Oh, they just kidnapped this dude's family. What the heck are they doing with it?" So he digs deeper. They kick him out. He comes back, whatever, and when you view the film, like, I don't want to spoil it too much, but it looks like there's something really going down, and he kind of stumbled on something here, and his family's a part of it. So, needless to say, he's really attached to this hospital. He thinks there's something really bad going down, and so he does everything in his power to go like behind the scenes at this hospital, terrorizing it. Security's after him, so he's like, it's like a cat and mouse game in this hospital, and he's just trying to figure out what's going on. There's a bigger picture here. He stumbles upon things that kind of enforce that idea, and as the viewer, you're thinking like, oh my god, is this really happening? There's a lot of twists, and I guess if you saw this for the first time, you're probably hooked, and you're thinking, this hospital's up to no good or something. Is it even a hospital? Is it part of a bigger picture? Like I said, the movie kind of points us in that direction, but it's misleading. And like I said, I don't want to spoil it too much because I definitely think this was overlooked, and I want you guys to check it out too. But yeah, back to the story. It gets pretty deep. The guy gets really overwhelmed, and he's like a man on a mission. His family's missing, and it's his job now to find out where his family is. And he's super content. They're in this hospital somewhere, in the bowels of this hospital, and he combs the entire place. And like I said, super confident that his family's here. And like I said, everyone else plays dumb, but it comes off like they're like like they're trying to hide something. It's a secret. But like I said, really good story. Like I said, this director Brad Anderson, not well known, but he knows how to make a good film. I think. Sure, he's had a few hit or misses. I think he does a lot of TV work now. But it's his kind of feel. I know. What's funny because I could recognize a Brad Anderson movie. It's just he's really good at making psychological thrillers. People have their knack. They could do whatever. Look at James Wan. He's done Aquaman, but he's also did Saw. So he could make that transition. He has no problem. Some directors kind of do one genre. That's it because they're good at it. Like I don't expect Rob Zombie to make the next Mission Impossible. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he might. I don't know. But I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like certain people, what they're good at, they stick to. But yeah, definitely. I gotta say it's worth checking out. Even if you kind of guessed it halfway, it's a fun ride, and it's like one of those psychological films that like kind of keep you guessing. Even if you have a good idea of what's gonna happen, it's still, like I said, it's the build up that works. This isn't a horror movie per se, but it has that feeling of dread. Like what if this guy's right? What's the bigger picture here? What are we missing? And, you know, people viewing this for the first time will definitely get that. And that's what kind of hooks you in. So, yeah. Fractured. Like I said, it was a Netflix release. I'm sure it's still on there. I'm sure it's pretty easy to track down. So, yeah, if you're bored, definitely give it, a chance. Check it out. Like I said, I'm almost certain it's probably still available, along with the other films I mentioned. Not all of them, but like I said, we learn a lot about the main character too. By the way, he has a backstory too that we get glimpses of. It's like this movie is almost like a bad dream kind of. But yeah, definitely messes with your head. Awesome. That's really all I got to say about it. I don't want to dive too deep. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But I mean, if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If not, if you got nothing else to do, definitely, like I said, check it out. You know, I think it's a worthy addition to your, October Halloween horror catalog. If you have one of those, whatever. I know some people that watch horror movies up to the 31st of October just to get into the Halloween spirit, which is cool. If I had the time, I'd do that too. Instead, I did these. Probably not gonna do them all the way to October 31st. It's just insane. But yeah, Fractured from Brad Anderson. It's a Netflix movie, so if you see it, check it out, watch it, and yeah, let me know what you think. Maybe it was predictable to you. I don't know. Like I said, these films don't work for everybody, but for the small half that appreciates stuff like this, yeah, totally worth seeing. All right, guys. That's my little review experience with Fractured. I know it was a lot to cram in there, but thanks for watching as always, and yeah, until next time. Oh, and like I said, we're super close to Halloween. We're, I think, a week or so away. Close. I'm leave with that. We're close. So yeah, be safe, stay healthy, and yeah, enjoy the holiday. Enjoy the fall weather that's coming. All right, guys. Thanks and peace.